thanks for slithering in. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Symtherin, and we're here with another speed build in The Sims 4. This one I teased a very long time ago over on Twitter, like very long time ago, and then I didn't revisit it, and then I came back to it and finished it. So yay me! But here I'm trying to do some funky roof thing that ends up not working out, I don't think. But you guys can kind of watch that along. But if you saw the title, you may have put it together already that this build is a limited pack build. I had a suggestion from one of you guys. Oh, it's been a while now since that suggestion was given to me. But basically to do a base game build, but using all of the kits as well. So that's what we're doing here, and I actually had so much fun. So I am curious, guys, what is your favorite kit? It could be build kit, create a sim kit. Let me know down in the comments below, and I want to hear from you because I'm curious. Or do you not have any kits? Because I wouldn't blame you if you didn't. There are a total of 23 kits. And that's completely insane. I personally didn't think that was insane. I was like, well, yeah, it's The Sims, you know, we get lots of DLCs. Until I looked it up and counted how many stuff packs we have available in The Sims 4. RIP stuff packs, we miss you. But we have 18 stuff packs versus our 23 kits. That doesn't seem right to me. It doesn't sit well. So yeah, let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Did you expect to have less stuff packs than kits, and or vice versa, or whatnot? I don't know. You let me know. So, of course, I had to include a greenhouse in this build because of the Greenhouse Haven kit. I think that's what it's called. I should have the list up in front of me, but you guys know me. I'm very rarely prepared for these voiceovers. I should get better at that. Anyway, yeah, we definitely needed to have a greenhouse. That was a given, especially since at the time I started this build, the greenhouse kit was pretty much brand spanking new. And then before I even finished the build, that's another crazy part. Before I even finished this build, we had already gotten another kit called the Book Nook kit. So that's kind of eye-opening for me. I don't know if it is for you. Yeah, but what isn't present in this build is any of the Create a Sim kits, obviously, because that's a whole different genre. But I also don't have many of the Create a Sim kits. I think I only have 2. I only have the Throwback Fit kit, because when that came out, kits were like brand new. It was exciting. It was like, wow, these items are so cool, and they're Create a Sim, and I like the items, so got that one. And then I just got the Grunge Revival kit. I have not really played around with that, but I like the idea of that kit, so hopefully one day, whenever I get back to gameplay, I can start checking out some of those items. If you're new here, gameplay and Create a Sim is not really my forte. I do like the gameplay part, but I hate spending time in Create a Sim. I get bored pretty quick. It starts off pretty good, and then eventually I start finding myself randomizing outfits or using the pre-planned outfits that are available in game, and yeah, I get bored pretty quickly. But we are in for another long video today, guys. I think this one's clocking in after the video tour at about 34 minutes. So please bear with me. I'm putting a fountain out here, and then I remembered we actually get a fountain in the Oasis Spring. No, it's not an Oasis Spring kit. Oasis. Hold on, let me check. Courtyard Oasis kit. That's the name. So I pulled that out here, and that was great. But anyway, what was I saying? We're in for a long one, and hopefully you guys do not mind. This was a pretty large build. You can actually fit 8 Sims in here. Granted, one of them would have to sleep outside, but I'll explain that in a little bit. But you can definitely fit up to 8 Sims in this build. And yeah, it's pretty big, even though it's like one story, which I think is really good for gameplay. But I didn't want to cut too much stuff out either, only because I like to leave most of my process in these speed builds, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it too. But if you don't, let me know. If you do enjoy it, you can let me know that too. I'd appreciate any and all feedback. I tried to lean into a specific pack for each different room, and hopefully you guys can kind of see that. I think I did a pretty decent job. Here I definitely wanted to lean into the book nook kit with these bookshelves. I don't think I end up using, no, that's a base game coffee table I use, and then definitely a lot of the desert luxe items. So I guess I didn't lean in too much, but the main focal point was the book nook kit, if you can believe it or not. And we'll talk through each room as we go too. Yeah, but the best thing out of all of these kits are these curtains that's also the desert luxe kit, and they are perfect. I use them in almost every build. We got a curtain rod with it, and I mean, it's top tier. It really is. I'm also sorry this video is late this weekend. It's been one of those weeks where I just couldn't find the time to really sit down, and I feel like I go through this every few weeks, and I definitely apologize. It's work. I'm gonna blame work, and also trying to keep the house clean and organized, because when that's not clean and organized, my mind just feels so messy. And yeah, and then I'm tired, honestly, super tired. So that's where I'm at here in the dining and kitchen area. We're definitely going with some base game table and chairs, and honestly it was a bit of a struggle. I did pull out, I think, a shelf from, I almost went with this end table or this accent table from the Desert Luxe kit, but then I pulled out this one, which I think is from Blooming Rooms, which I feel like I don't ever use, like almost ever. And I actually really like this green and like light brown swatch. I thought it was really, really pretty and kind of brought more color into this room, because throughout the build we use the flooring from the Desert Luxe kit, which the swatches there are pretty, your neutrals, your grays, your browns. And then the wallpaper in this build changed definitely a lot, but for the most part we used the basement, that basement kit wallpaper, which I actually love that wallpaper. I feel like it's so realistic. And then here on the accent wall, I'm just trying to figure out something that looks decent, and I think I stick with this one. I'm pretty sure I do. And I kept going back and forth between like dark browns and light browns and whites, so lots of changes happened in this build. I think that's why it took me so long to complete it and why I kept coming back to it. And then here I think I end up putting a desk, but you might not see that now because I think I move on to the kitchen first because I was struggling with it. I put these things first, but then later I pull out the Pastel Pop Kit desk because that's such a cute desk, and cluttered it up. This kitchen was also a struggle for me. I actually end up using these base game counters again, which is a surprise because I never use them, and then here I am using them 2 builds in a row. I don't know why, but I could not for the life of me, get the country kitchen counters to work here. I did try, but I feel like it just didn't fit because one, we're here in Oasis Springs, and this is a very like, I would call it like an Arizona home. If you're from the US, you might know kind of what I'm talking about. Very Spanish revival type, maybe not revival. I'm not an architect, I don't know, but it's an Arizona home. So country kitchen counters were not a vibe here. And here we're in the first bedroom, and maybe I could have cut out a lot of me trying to figure out this wallpaper, and I could have saved us some time in this video, but it is what it is. That's the process, guys. That's how I build. But once I picked out this swatch from the Industrial Loft Kit bed, which top tier bed as well, I was like, oh, I really like this color. We're gonna go with this. And then obviously we tried to do some decor to the max wallpaper. I think that ends up changing, and I use that maybe in another room or to kick off another room. Gosh, I can't remember. It's been a minute. I also noticed it's like a family home, but I couldn't tell you which bedroom is for the parents. So you can kind of choose for yourself if you'd like, but we do have one nursery in here. So there's definitely a family. But this room in particular, the Sims or Sim, however you choose to use it, likes painting. I felt like that this was a good spot to have this nice big window and have an easel. And here I found this debug paintbrush, and I was like, oh, that's a cute little detail. I'm gonna add it. So that's that. I've never done that before, but I thought it was cute. And yeah, I think it was pretty easy to go with an artist room because I think we have a lot of those items in base game, like the artist clutter, the empty canvases, storing canvases, all of that good stuff. I also got to use this little I was gonna say sofa. That's definitely not a sofa. This couch from the Book Nook kit. It looks so comfy and cozy. And I pulled out that wall decoration, and I think I'm gonna pull it out again. It kind of looks DIY to me, this one. So I thought that would be perfect for this room because it also adds in some color. It ties in the blue a little bit. I don't know. Hopefully you guys liked it as well. I feel like I'm stumbling over my words. It's pretty early. I'm actually recording this voiceover same day because that's how bad my time management was this week, as I said. So I have not had any coffee yet. I probably should have prioritized that. I did have breakfast, which that is unlike myself to have breakfast. I usually don't eat this early, but I was hungry, so that's the thing. I had a breakfast burrito with egg, sausage, and bacon. So good. So good. Anyway, let me stop reminiscing about my breakfast I had like 2 seconds ago. Here is the nursery. I definitely wanted to put in a nursery because I know I'm doing base game and kits, and we don't have like baby kits, but we did have that big update with infants and things, so I wanted to add that in, and I thought it was cute. And I felt like this piece, this wall decor piece from the decor to the max kit, is so cute for a kid's room. I thought it was adorable. Yeah, and then of course we have the little campers kit, so that was also a big driving factor for making sure there was space for kids, because otherwise what are you doing with a little campers kit, huh? I don't know. But I think we actually end up putting the dollhouse from that kit into this room. Here we're making our own little changing table because for some odd reason we did not get that in the base game update, but it came with growing together. So that's a bummer. I hope maybe one day we get one. It seems odd to me that we didn't. And it's really annoying. I don't know, maybe they fixed it, but when I played with infants, when the update first came out, before Growing Together got released, I had diapers everywhere. Like, everywhere, and it was so annoying. So hopefully that changed. I really hope so. Overall, I like how this nursery came out. It's nice and colorful and bright and pretty, in my opinion. Here, this room, well, the other two bedrooms in this build kind of gave me a hard time. I didn't know what to do with them. But I ended up working on this one thinking maybe it's like a teen or a young adult, maybe even a child sim. Like, it could go either way. Definitely a room someone or any sim could like grow into. I actually put up this gender queer pride flag, which I feel I need to use it more, honestly. I don't typically use them. I don't know why. There's no real reason, but I added it here, and that kind of helped tide in some of the purples and blues, I think, and it worked out pretty well. And then I thought the wall was too busy, so I went back to these gray Desert Luxe walls and basement kit walls. But I don't know. It turned out pretty well. I definitely wanted to make sure I used another bed we got in one of the kits. So this one's from the Pastel Pop kit, and I love that mirror. Is that... Where'd that mirror come from? That might have been a base game update or SDX delivery. So, yeah, I think that's where that came from. Yeah, and then we've got more clutter going on. We've got the clutter kit. I love clutter, so that was probably one of my favorite kits. I don't know if I can pick a favorite kit though. I can tell you that blooming rooms will always have a special place in my heart. That will be in almost every build of mine, literally. What else? Let's see what else usually ends up. Obviously the everyday clutter kit, the bathroom clutter kit, that's gonna be in almost every build, unless I'm doing like specifically, you know, limited pack build. The greenhouse haven kit, absolutely gorgeous. And then the book nook kit. I think those are my 5. I do like I love the best words. I love the basement treasures kit, but that's also more like run down items, so I feel like that's very specific. Although I do love the plant that we got from there, and I know a lot of people don't like it, but I love it. Anyway, we're here in the next bedroom. This could be a teen, this could be adults, this could be grandparents. But I was like, I have this huge greenhouse. Someone in this household needs to be the gardener and the green thumb. So that's what this room is. So we got lots of yellows. I really wanted to lean into the sunflowers on this base game bed. And I made a little gallery wall here. This is something I like to do pretty frequently, or I try to, is just making my own little gallery wall and using different items from different packs to see how they blend well together. You'd be surprised sometimes how well these can come out. Of course, sometimes it takes some time to figure it out, but I thought it was cute. I definitely encourage you guys to try. I did think about putting an awning in here if you saw that real quick, but I was like, wait, no, too much Symtherin, too much step back, take a step back. But we've got this crystal light thingy, and those base game books, I totally missed when we got new swatches for that. And they're gorgeous. Oh my god, I'm gonna use them a lot more now. Or hopefully I remember there's more swatches to them so that I actually do use them more. So, yeah, I liked it. And then I think, what else do we put in here? Just a dresser, maybe a chair. None of these bedrooms except... Oh, I lied. Except for one. With the pastel pop bed. That's the only bedroom with a desk. And then, of course, we put a desk in the kitchen dining area. So that could be like up for grabs for whoever needs a desk at the time. I think my favorite part of this build though is the outdoor spaces. And as I was saying that, we kind of zoomed over the bathroom here. There's actually 3 bathrooms, so 4 bedroom, 3 bath in this build. And yeah, I did not keep those in. Usually I like to knock out the bathrooms off camera because they're usually the same, and I don't know, unless you guys really need me to show you the bathrooms and when I'm building it. In smaller builds, I definitely do keep them in. Sometimes with the bigger ones, I'll try to keep one in, but yeah, you'll see them all in the tour at the very end of this video too. But here we are outside. I wanted to add some kind of greenery here next to the pool because that space felt a little empty. And of course I added some gnomes and some statues and things because we're outside and that's where gnomes go. Oh, and the flamingo. Yeah, so shout out to my friend Sierra because she loves her gnomes. I definitely did think of her when I was placing all of these guys down. But yeah, and we've got some lounge chairs here, but in this corner later I do put the tent from the little campers kit. But here I wanted to put in a hot tub because that's also something I don't typically put into my builds, especially base game hot tubs. And I wanted to like make it built in a little bit because otherwise it looks so weird. And I actually like how it came out. And we put these planters from Blooming Rooms kit. I think we get some candles. Yep, so it's nice, a little romantic. I did put robes out here. Maybe it's not like realistic to have your robes, but maybe it is. You know, you get cold, right? So, and then yeah, what else? Obviously leaning into the Desert Luxe kit out here. And I kind of knew that at the very beginning because I wanted to use this fireplace. It's perfect for the outdoors and it's just really cozy. I would chill here. I definitely would. But then I wanted to separate the pool a little bit because I was like, oh, if we have kids and we're all hanging out and walking around, we want to make sure no one's falling in, right? Even though the Sims wouldn't do that. But let's just practice safe pool use, I guess. And let's not take away the ladders from our Sims. No, of course not. And here the little campers kit is coming in clutch with these hanging lights. I absolutely love these lights. I feel like I use them all the time. And surprisingly, this beauty from the Blooming Rooms kit did not make an appearance yet. So she had to make an appearance twice back here. She just had to. I love that hanging plant. I use her all the time. She is definitely a queen. And here I remembered we got a bar from the Desert Luxe kit. And I was like, oh, yeah, duh. So we're using that and some base game counters, some stools. I made the pool a little smaller so that there's more of a walking space. I think I added a window to this like walkway from the house to the greenhouse so that we can separate that grill a little bit better. Here I'm trying to place these lights and trying to make sure they're hanging on one of these spandrel things that I put, so hopefully that kind of worked. Fingers crossed. And here's the little campers kit area, and this is where I put another bed, which makes 8 Sims if you choose so. Obviously you can probably in the nursery change that up and add in another bed or a bunk bed so your Sim doesn't have to sleep outside every night. But if you don't care about that either, then there's a bed for your Sim out there. And as soon as I had this space in the very beginning, I knew this was going to be like the little campers kit corner, like at least little campers kit heavy corner. We got the movie screen here, so this is a nice place to go to have family movie night, you know, especially here in Oasis Springs where the weather is always pretty good. You definitely want that. Here I should have left this out too. I was trying to be fancy and get like some wooden bars on here, but then as you'll see when I start actually trying to furnish this greenhouse, it was so annoying to try and furnish it and work with these beams in the way, and I was like, for gameplay this would probably be a pain too, so I just got rid of them. But I wanted to show you guys anyway because it's a nice little trick for, you know, if you don't mind that. And then obviously I use tool, but you don't need to use tool. You can use like the in-game cheats with the bracket keys to size up the items. That's alt and bracket, and raising items up with 9, alt and 9, and alt and 0 to lower them. So there's options, but because I was cluttering things up and the camera angles were weird, I was getting pretty annoyed, and they're gone now. Bye. But yeah, I wanted to make sure we had plenty of space here in this greenhouse for some gardening. There is a little section outside that's fenced off with the Little Campers Kit swing that if you choose to, you can definitely get rid of that and easily put more space for gardening. But I also wanted a space for your sim to kind of sit down and maybe read a book, maybe just hang out and enjoy the smells of nature. And yeah, I don't know, it was cute and cluttered, and I absolutely liked kind of combining the greenhouse haven kit, the basement kit, and the blooming rooms kit. I even put a vacuum there for busted dust, even though that is our one and only gameplay kit. So that's a good one. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this build. We're pretty much wrapping it up. Don't forget to let me know, out of the 23 total kits, which one is your favorite. Or, I mean, I gave you 5, so if you can't narrow it down, go ahead, give me just let me know your opinions on these kits. What do you think about having more kits than stuff packs at this point? That's still blowing my mind. But anyway, I'm going to let you guys go. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the video tour. Don't forget to do all the things like, comment, subscribe if you haven't, and I appreciate you. Have a happy Sunday and a very great week. Bye.